Hello, I'm Mary, working on the Story Over World channel. Now I'm going to tell you about the 10 most famous prisoners in Finland. No need to wait, let's listen. Kakola in Turku housed one of Finland's most infamous prisons for over 150 years. Alongside Riihimäki prison, Kakola was designated as an A+ maximum security facility, reserved for the country's most dangerous criminals. Known for its harsh discipline and strict security, the prison developed a fearsome reputation, particularly in the post-war decades when brutal punishment tactics were commonplace. However, in 2007, Kakola ceased to function as a prison. Today, the former penitentiary has been transformed into a luxurious hotel and spa, featuring high-end apartments, a restaurant, a bakery, and a brewery. When I visited, I was fascinated by its transformation and felt compelled to create a YouTube video about its history. One of the most intriguing aspects of Kakola is, of course, the prisoners who were once held here. Many of Finland's most notorious criminals served time within these walls, isolated from society. Former inmates have recounted harrowing tales of life inside. In an interview with Helsingin Sanomat, a former prisoner recalled being transferred to Kakola in the 1970s, where he was threatened with weekly beatings and sexual violence, a chilling testament to the prison's grim reality. A glimpse into Kakola's dark past. The history of Kakola dates back to 1845, when the Grand Duke of Finland ordered the establishment of 4 labor and correctional institutions, one of which was built in Turku. By 1853, prisoners were transferred from Turku Castle to the newly constructed Kakola facility. Over the following decades, the prison expanded continuously, solidifying its status as a fortress of discipline and punishment. One of the most feared sections of Kakola was the western cell block, known as Pity. This imposing structure, located atop the hill, functioned as a forced labor unit where the most hardened criminals were isolated from other inmates. Today, the atmosphere in Pity has changed dramatically. What was once a brutal prison ward has been transformed into modern luxury apartments. While Kakola is now a place of relaxation and fine living, its dark past still lingers. Thousands of prisoners once passed through its gates, making it difficult to choose just 10 of the most infamous criminals who served time here. This list is by no means definitive, so feel free to share in the comments who you think should have been included. Loudspeaker, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more thrilling history videos every week. The most notorious criminals of Kakola. 1. Matti Volvo Markkanen, the notorious bank robber. Pushpin alias. Volvo Markkanen Pushpin active years. 1960s, 1980s Pushpin crimes. Bank robbery, auto theft, prison escape Pushpin prison status, held in Kakola's high-security unit. One of Finland's most infamous criminals, Matti Markkanen, better known as Volvo Markkanen, was a career bank robber whose criminal activities spanned Finland and other Nordic countries. His nickname came from his unusual choice of getaway vehicle, a Volvo. Markkanen deliberately stole Volvos for his heists because they were marketed as burglar-proof, making them an exciting challenge for a professional thief like him. Red Circle key facts. Highly educated. Unlike many criminals, Markkanen had a promising start. He attended high school in Mikkeli, spent a year as an exchange student in the US, and even completed military service with honors, later becoming a reserve lieutenant. Career shift to crime. After being fired from his job at Finnair in 1966, he gradually turned to a life of theft and robbery, driven more by thrill-seeking than financial desperation. Violent tendencies. While primarily a robber, Markkanen was not afraid to use violence, sometimes injuring bystanders during heists or opening fire on police while fleeing. Escape artist. Markkanen had a history of breaking out of prison, leading to his placement in Kakola's most secure unit. After his release, Markkanen attempted to reinvent himself. He started a construction business, dabbled in politics, and even ran for parliament in 2016. He passed away in 2016 at the age of 78. 2. Hilarious Sorginen, the great escape artist. Pushpin alias. Hentomilainen hilarious, gentle hilarious, Pushpin crimes. Armed robbery. Prison escapes Pushpin most famous feat. one of Kakola's most daring prison breaks. Before his time at Kakola, Sorjonen had already built a reputation as an armed robber and serial escapee. But it was in the 1950s that he became truly infamous, thanks to an elaborate and legendary escape plan. Red Circle: The Great Escape, 1953. In March 1950, Sorjonen led a major post office heist in Helsinki, netting an astonishing 2 million marks. He was soon caught and sentenced to 15 years at Kakola. But Kakola's fortified walls weren't enough to hold him. Just 3 years later, he and fellow prisoner Dynamite Lane pulled off one of Finland's most daring prison breaks. Performing arts: how they did it. The prison guards were badly hungover on the morning of the escape, making their job much easier. Lane, who worked as a janitor, smuggled tools into their cell. They cut through the window bars, snuck into the yard, and stole a guard's jacket as a disguise. Using a wooden sauna grate as a makeshift ladder, they scaled the prison walls and vanished into the night. While Lane was eventually caught, Sorjonen continued his criminal spree. A year later, he attempted another bank robbery, but this time, his luck ran out. When surrounded by police, he took his own life, cementing his place in Finland's criminal history. Kakola's transformation: a new era. Today, Kakola has shed its dark past and emerged as a luxurious destination. Its cells have transformed into high-end apartments, its isolation chambers into hotel rooms, and its harsh history into a tourist attraction. But for those who know its history, the walls of Kakola still whisper the stories of the men who once walked its halls, some of Finland's most feared criminals, whose names will never be forgotten. Light bulb: what do you think? Who else should be on this list? Let me know in the comments. Loudspeaker: subscribe to my YouTube channel for more thrilling history videos every week.